Welcome to Seeking the Sacred Self. I'm your host, Naomi Rozak. Today, let's delve a little bit deeper into how we view the painful symptoms of something being wrong in our lives. So what happens is often something will go wrong around us, and we tend to focus on physical symptoms, or we focus on what's on the surface of a painful event or circumstance or relationship conflict. But in the holistic view, in the view of universal field energy, there are physical symptoms and there are emotional, mental, spiritual, relational, and they each have their own presence or energy behind them, and yet they will overlap and become manifestations of each other. So an emotional symptom that you are experiencing, like resentment or self-hatred, may also begin to come out as a relational symptom, as criticism towards others or irritability or anger affecting other people. A mental struggle, say like with a belief or persistent difficult thought, will show up in your feelings or in physical symptoms, maybe in tension or muscle pain or headaches or hives or eczema. All of these things have an energetic presence in our body. And energy likes to move, to flow through, to change into another form, or to dissipate in a different way. It is never meant to be stuck or stagnant. If you think of it on an atomic level, the electrons and neutrons and protons and the smaller pieces that they found in atoms and the atoms themselves are always in flow. They are bonding, they are connecting with other atoms, they are disconnecting and becoming something else. And the energy of our bodies follows these same laws. So often what happens is we are naturally living in our flow of life. Things are moving well. And then we encounter that traumatic, difficult thing. Life just gets hard and it stays hard. Maybe when we're little children, maybe as adults. And the things we encounter don't get fully processed or fully seen or fully witnessed by us. The feelings and shame and beliefs and the painfulness doesn't get supported, whether by us or others. So the energy of these things that is created in our body has nowhere to go. It lives in our cells, our organs, and muscles and fascia and systems, and it stays. It's like a charge of electricity. And it sits in us all the time with nowhere to go, no pathway to follow to allow it to move. So if someone or something brushes up against that charged emotion or place in us, or it gets activated by a thought or feeling, we again feel the presence of that charged electrical type energy in us. And sometimes there's so much charge to it that it feels like we're dragging something along, or like we have a loss of power or something draining us, something pulling us down all the time. It's a burden we're not meant to carry or a state of being we're not naturally meant for. The thing is, our bodies are meant for healing. They're meant to naturally deal with traumatic things so that we can heal. But there are caveats to this. Sometimes we need community to heal. We need touch and love and someone to cry with us or be with us. We need mental understanding of something or education that comes from outside of us. Sometimes we need nature, earth connection. Sometimes we need movement. Sometimes we need physical or spiritual nourishment or solitude. We need all of these natural helps, and sometimes we just don't have them, and we don't understand that we have those needs. So when those needs aren't met, the mind body, the emotional or physical or any part of the self moves into protective mode. It shuts down this and that. It overcompensates in one way, and we learn a different way to respond to life. Maybe we cut ourselves off from feeling deeply, like I did. Or our presence goes out of our body, what we call dissociation. Maybe we put up an emotional wall so others can't get close to us, and we swear we will never be hurt again. Maybe we launch into perfectionism and getting everything just right, managing all the details perfectly and taking care of everyone else's emotions and needs so we'll never be criticized or get too much attention put on us. Or we move into numbing ourselves through addiction and entertainment, distraction and busyness, workaholism. And for a while, these are only mental or emotional patterns. But guess what is supporting us through all of that? The body. And the body that is meant to be open to others and to life, that is meant to breathe and move easily, that is meant to receive love and give it naturally, that is meant to have its needs met, that is meant for the flow of energy, gets tight and tense and stuck. We no longer can breathe deeply enough. We can't turn our heads a certain way or get a full stride or bend over when we need to or see clearly. Our digestive system gets inflamed. It can't absorb nutrition, and we aren't eating to support our bodies. And our nervous system, meant to encourage and support our breathing and our digestion and our rest, as well as emergencies, is now working in overdrive of adrenaline and anxiety. Over time, the body will begin to manifest the signs of the state of tension the body is in. This may take years, but the signs will be there. And sometimes a symptom is almost instantaneous, in direct relation to something you have just thought or experienced. Like someone I know who instantly develops eczema when they go back to visit their parents. Or you develop a migraine when you think of having to go back to work. Or an inflammatory bowel flare-up when you start to feel stressed about something. My left shoulder seizes up in a moment the minute I start to fear something about my future or if I worry about how other people perceive me. Right now, that's only a bit of a tight shoulder, nothing awful. But what if I'm constantly in fear, constantly caught in people pleasing? What could a tight shoulder now lead to over 5 or 10 years? The restricted range of movement, the muscle tightness, restricted blood flow, the lack of drawing a deep breath on my left side because I'm holding my arm into my body so tightly. Just imagine. So usually when we notice pain, there are two ways that we respond to it, ways we have been taught to deal with it. We, of course, use our thinking mind, our reasoning, to address the pain. We know the pain is bad. We don't like it. And I think we know in our soul that pain means something and it's not our natural state. And we're also taught that the pain shouldn't be there. So first, we judge the pain as wrong. Pain equals bad. No pain equals good. We go further and look at the state of our bodies, and we judge ourselves thinking, oh, I'm so bad, I'm so unhealthy, I'm not good enough because I have this pain. If only I could be without this pain. No one else would have to deal with me or my needs. I should be doing this so that I'm not in as much pain. I should be changing my habits. And using the word should is a good sign of a place where we're judging ourselves. And because we judge the pain and ourselves as wrong, we move into needing the second response of trying to fix the pain. And fixing means stopping the thing from happening or stopping ourselves from feeling the thing. So as quick as we can, we try to get it fixed a few different ways. We may try to get to the root because maybe we believe in that and we think, why is this happening? But we only look at physical reasons. If I'm twisting my ankle repeatedly, I might think, why is my body doing this? How can I walk differently? Be more stable? How can I stretch my muscles? How can I exercise to strengthen that area? Do I need to buy a brace for the ankle? And maybe we automatically try painkillers or icing as well to kill the pain. Or we avoid the pain. We distract ourselves with things like comfort eating and TV watching or filling our schedule. And then maybe if we've tried to deal with the root, or we've tried painkillers, or we've tried to distract ourselves and it's not going away, then we go for services like chiropractic and massage and acupuncture and doctor appointments with people who also want to help us to be pain-free as quickly as possible. And we branch out into any number of other things from there. For really terrible pain, we opt into surgery and regimes and almost a lifetime of trying to dull this symptom. We try to get rid of the thing that's affecting us, rid of the pain. But what we don't realize is that the pain is there. The inflammation or the disorder, the imbalance, as a coded message. It's our body talking to us, but we haven't been taught the language of the body, or we've forgotten it. Pain is meant to be responded to the moment we feel it. It's an alert. Pain is a messenger, and the message is, I am in pain. Please recognize that something is causing me pain. So we tend to look to the physical symptom to reduce the pain, but we haven't heard the message. The pain feels like the enemy. We have to stamp it out, get rid of it, ignore it, subdue it, or control it, or even heal it, which is a good and natural impulse, especially if we know our bodies are meant to heal. But when we think of the idea of healing, whether that's psychological or physical, we think pain-free. The goal is pain-free. I should be healed. I should be free. And notice, are we judging the state of being in pain? And I'm not going to knock that idea because I believe in physical and emotional and spiritual freedom and possibility for everyone. But the way to freedom, the way to true healing, is to go through the pain, not around, not over, not ignore or suppress or subdue or get rid of. It is to recognize in your physical pain a pattern of emotional or mental or spiritual wounding and the beliefs and hardship you carry in your body because of it. The patterns of behavior and thinking that are creating pain for you. Something that has so affected you, is so deeply painful to your whole system, has been there long enough that it has created a web of pain throughout your body. A physical sign that, in a perfect world, you could not ignore. But in the world we have now, can be ignored in any number of ways. Your body is sending you a messenger, a friend. It's saying, please, can we look at this thing together? There's no judgment here. Can we just acknowledge what has been so hard for us? Can we talk about and recognize and honor that thing that happened to us way back when? This pattern is very hard to feel, has been hard for a long time. Can we just sit together so we can at last feel the painful thing and let it go? I know this is a difficult perspective, and I've protested it myself. Pain is pain. It hurts. I want to be pain-free. But all of this is part of our mindset, living in a culture that is a pressure cooker, trying to judge and fix and label and force and advise people all the time, instead of allowing us to sit and contemplate and gently learn and be with ourselves and each other. Our bodies want to sit. and breathe and just be. Mel Robbins says you cannot heal what you do not reveal. And my mind-body mentor, Summer Bozahora, says it this way: what cannot be witnessed cannot be healed. When we experience physical symptoms of pain, we are being asked to witness the message, the emotional or energetic pattern beneath the pain. My mentor has also said it as this: it's as if our souls have been talking to us, but because they don't talk a language that we listen to easily, which means going inward and sorting through the thoughts and emotions and energies behind all of it, and the synchronicity of outer events that reflect to us how we already feel inside, the body has to escalate its message. It has to ramp up the symptoms and the pain. And sometimes pain is one of the only ways we will listen. You may even subdue physical symptoms for a time, band-aid them, or they get better as you get distracted with something else to focus on. But then it comes back, or it comes back in a different way, a different body part, or a different level of pain. A persistent reminder that you are in pain. But here's one of the beautiful truths of facing emotional pain. When we face the emotions and other difficulties that have been pushed down in our bodies instantly release tension and pain reduces. It just happens. Dr. John Sarno was a rehabilitative medicine physician in New York who has spent years researching the physical pain caused by structural damage or changes in the body. So think of disc issues and lumbar issues and joint pain. He noted that people who have structural issues in their bodies that indicate they should be in pain and need surgery, when they will address emotional issues, especially suppressed emotions that they've pushed down and difficulties that they haven't really addressed, they will sometimes reduce and even eradicate their pain, even if their medical imaging shows that they should be in tremendous pain and require surgery. And people who have no medical imaging proof that they should be in pain or need surgery, so in other words, their x-rays and MRIs shown absolutely nothing, they can still be in tremendous pain and be asking for surgery if they are not addressing emotional causes of pain. That's how intense the mind-body connection is, the relationship between emotional pain and physical pain. One more thing we need to understand is that the goal of understanding our physical symptoms is not so that we will be perfectly physically healthy. Dealing with the root cause of inner pain will reduce physical pain on any level. But doing this work is not about healing to where we have a perfect body that never feels pain and has no disability or restriction. This is about easing the inner experience with compassion and noticing that as we do that, the entire body feels better. That's the goal. It's not having a completely asymptomatic life, but a life that is as easeful on the inside as we could ever imagine. Note that that doesn't mean that conflicts and difficult things won't happen inside us, but it's that when they do happen, we can pay attention to them and work through them. There may be a time in our lives when symptoms will not respond, when the pattern is not caught in time to save the life or save from the disease. The pain may reduce, but the dis-ease of the body will lead to physical disability or even death. What is important to note is that even these people can find ease in their experience as they go inside themselves and compassionately witness what is there. Their inner pain will transform to peace, and peace with their physical state and their future if they let their inner world speak to them. I don't teach this so that we have no physical symptoms. I teach this so we can feel at peace, using our physical symptoms to know when we are being bothered by something, when there's a new layer of healing coming up for us and to be able to address it. One more thing to remember is that you did not cause these symptoms. You are not to blame for them. You did not consciously create anything. Your body is simply moving through life, responding to your inner world and patterns and the things that happen to you. And the gift of this journey is that we get to bring more awareness to our inner lives, and we get to choose differently as we gain more information and insight, right? This is only a practice to feel more peace and ease in life. And anytime we judge ourselves, which would sound like, I should have done this, or I shouldn't have done that, or it's my fault, the flow of healing stops. Our bodies do not respond to judgment by increasing healing. In fact, judging ourselves and others is one of the patterns that brings on sickness. It hurts us. So stopping the pattern of judgment whenever we notice it is really important. In last week's episode, I asked, what is the truth in your body? The experience you are having that you don't say aloud to people. And similar to this, today I want to ask, what is the issue? The thing you can't solve or resolve that doesn't seem to go away and just frustrates you. This could be physical, and I'm focusing on that for this particular episode. But it could also be a relational thing, or a persistent emotion, or cataclysmic events that just keep happening. It could be a persistent nagging frustration in your life, or it could be all-encompassing. What if it's a symptom of something deeper? What if it's not there to aggravate you, but to get your attention and show you something? What if it's a messenger, a friend, here to help you know more? What if that symptom, that pain, wants to help you heal? And not heal just the plaguing physical symptom, but to heal something bigger? What if it's here to help you heal the big wound, the emotional or spiritual one, the one that happened a long time ago and is still weighing you down every day? What if this pain is the best friend you ever had, and you've been trying to band-aid it and numb it and distract yourself from it, when what it really wants is to be able to come up from the center of you and be seen and acknowledged and heard? What if you are in pain and all this symptom is asking for is, can we notice this pain? Can we sit with it so it can release some of its big charge and the energy of the pain can move through us and out of our body, and we can be more at peace? So for you today, where is your pain? Is it physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, but particularly physical? What persistent symptom has been plaguing you, whether it's ongoing or acute? Don't discount things like headaches, sprains, tight muscles. Anything that shows up more than once can be symbolic of something. For today, I ask you to simply contemplate, is it possible that this pain is recurring or doesn't budge because the root of it is not physical, but is spiritual? An emotional pattern that has woven its way through your body that you haven't yet been able to recognize? Allow yourself a minute to think. What things in your life cause resistance? What things drain your energy? What things make you want to run for the hills? What anxieties ride you and never let you rest? There may be spiritual or emotional wounding there, and as a result, You act in a way that is emotionally charged. You avoid, you control, you take care of everyone else. And if this is your pattern, contemplate. Is this pain coming to hurt you, keep you down, immobilize you? Or is it talking to you very loudly, asking you to turn inward? Next week, I'm going to talk about one of my own physical symptoms and the story of how I come to understand it. And we're going to go into the process of you understanding and working with your physical symptoms, which, at its core, is befriending the pain and listening to it, understanding it deeply. And when we understand it, the electric type charge of it can lessen. And we learn perspectives to shift our thinking and beliefs and live differently. And the pain no longer needs to be there in the same way. If this episode has brought up something for you, I would love to hear about it. You can comment on Spotify or YouTube. And otherwise, stay tuned for next week when we're going to deep dive into how to actually work with physical symptoms. And I'll provide an immersive inner journey for you to do this on your own as you're listening. So I'll see you next time when we go a little deeper again.